Hello friends, I made this for. My name is Lauren, and you are here today because you're here for a new moon reading. So I'm actually recording this on the solstice as we enter in this Cancerian watery energy. This is the cloth I wrap my favorite deck of cards in because I naturally dyed and screen printed it myself, and I just really love that. I love it so much. And it's screen printed with my blood. Isn't that so Cancerian? Anyhoozle, thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping in. How you feeling? How's it going? If you've never been here before, hi, hello, my name is Lauren. I am an artist, intuitive tarot reader, Reiki practitioner, astrology fan, and art ritual facilitator. I believe art is a healing modality and that tarot is a way to reflect into our souls, our hearts, and our minds. And today, as I've said before, we're here to talk about this new moon in Cancer. So this is tar wood. It smells super piney. It's super, to me, I'm very attracted to using this because it's more indigenous to my cultural background rather than, well, maybe I shouldn't use the word indigenous, but it's more connected to my white bread background than, let's say, other ones, other modes of clearing. But do you, baby? Also just like the smell of pine a whole lot. So at the end of this video, I will link some videos to other things going around on this season. Be on the lookout for another video coming up, I haven't put it out already actually, about Neptune hitting retrograde, which is very interesting to me. That is also happening on the same day of the new moon. June 28th, Neptune hits retrograde. So since we have this two-part influx, as it were, of what's happening astrologically, I think it's really important to kind of reflect on how deep these waters get, or how deep the waters of our emotional landscape might be getting on this day with Neptune hitting retrograde the same day we have the new moon in Cancer. Yeah. So let's start by waking up the deck. Hi, hello. I don't read jumpers. Don't judge me. So let's start with this question. And again, this is a collective reading, so this is going to be very vague, very open, and very fast. So, or I'll try and see how fast we can do this. So buckle up. What is a card that we can use as medicine as we traverse this emotional time? What is a card for the medicine? What card is medicine for our emotions? There it is. There it is. I got it. What card is medicine for our emotional bodies, our emotional landscapes? What card is medicine? Page of Wands. It's interesting because we got the Page of Wands not that long ago. But I feel like the Page of Wands here, when it comes to a card for medicine around our emotional landscape, is how can we engage with fresh eyes, with openness, with a willingness to use our creative resources as a tool. And I actually find this really interesting. As an art ritual facilitator, I use art as a spiritual practice all the time, as a holistic way of healing. So that would be one suggestion of how to traverse the emotional landscapes, to kind of work with those emotions and honor our emotional intelligence, would be to make some art around this time, to put our feelings on the paper, as it were, right? But that doesn't necessarily have to be the case for you. If you are not really a physical art type of maker, maybe it's poetry, maybe it's music, maybe it's just taking on a new skill set, maybe starting therapy and allowing yourself to be fresh to something that is that might leave you feeling vulnerable, but at the same time nurturing. And so that's a big thing that comes up for me when I see Page of Wands in reference to a card for medicine of our internal landscape, is where can we, with fresh eyes, with a fresh perspective, see tools in front of us that can support us and utilize them, pull them out, and really utilize them in a way that feels good, yeah? Or at least helps us process. I think ultimately, as someone who used to teach SEL, that's social emotional learning, sometimes I see folks get upset about, well, I'm feeling this way and I don't want to feel this way. Or this is happening and I don't necessarily, I want to circumvent this and I want to get to the good part. I want to get to how it feels once we've processed the emotions. And this Page of Wands really comes to me as a feeling of vulnerability, and processing our emotions is not always going to feel good. Sometimes we have to just take the plunge so that we can get to the good part. We can't skip there. We have to work there. Let's see here. What card can help us embody that page energy deeply? What card can help us embody that page energy deeply? Which card can help us embody the page energy deeply? This is actually really interesting. So Queen of Wands, we have the Page and we have the Queen. I find this really interesting. What card can be the teacher? So I've expressed this in old videos, and of course this might be new to folks, but my ideology around the court cards is this is who we are being asked to be rather than people in our lives. But it certainly could be people in our lives, right? For this poll specifically, I kind of feel like it is actually inviting us. I don't often believe this interpretation, but I feel based on the question that this is where it is going. So hold with me. I believe this card is coming as a indicator that we can look around us and observe who has already been where we wish to go. We're starting this journey. Someone who's gone a little farther. We don't have to necessarily put people on pedestals, but what we can do is observe those folks that are doing what we hope to be doing and have already accomplished certain milestones from our perspective, and use that observation not as necessarily a roadmap, but as not as a roadmap, but as a mirror. Where can we perhaps take some lessons learned so that we don't have to learn things the hard way or the long way? That for me is always hard. I love learning the hard way. I love it. Yes. Or how can we call upon the elders in our community with regards to support in moving through as the page and allowing ourselves to be vulnerable? Who can we be vulnerable with? Is again people who are on a similar journey perhaps, but are a little farther down the road. Now, this is not to say you necessarily need to find some guru or some coach to support you, but who can you kind of observe from the outside or just reach out to with questions in order to move through this curiosity space, this vulnerable space, with some tools ready to arm you, right? So with that, let's see here. I want to pull one more card because 3 is always fun. What is something that we need to be aware of as we traverse the emotional landscapes? What is something within us that we need to be aware of as we take on the page role? What is something we need to be aware of in us as we reach out to others who are embodying that Queen of Wands energy? What is something we need to be aware of for ourselves in our hearts? I love 9 of Pentacles. Love this card. Something we need to be aware of as we are traversing our internal landscapes, as we are feeling our feelings and using our tools and reaching out for help, is that we can pause and smell the roses. In the spiritual world, sometimes we get wrapped up in where we want to be without acknowledging the joy and the beauty of where we are. And I say this as a reminder to myself as well. It happens so often that we become entrenched in the goals rather than the journey. And that's not to say that the goal isn't important. But as we are journeying, as we are doing the work, embodying the page and opening ourselves up, asking for help from our elders, or just referencing folks who are ahead of us in our spiritual growth and just kind of seeing perhaps a bird's eye view of where they went in comparison, we also have to really acknowledge that where we are is such powerful medicine. Even if it is the most uncomfortable, there is beauty within where we are. And that is not to negate suffering. That's not to just say that suffering is just what it is and we'll all get through it, blah, blah, blah. Like that would be really spiritually bypassy of me to say. But when 9 of Pentacles comes up for me, it is a reminder that, okay, what have I created thus far? Can I just take a second to see the bird on my finger, to feel the fruits of the garden and just absorb the gift that is the journey. Just absorb the gift that is stillness. Not necessarily focusing on it has to be this, it has to be that. And I think with Neptune retrograde, this becomes even more important so that we are not ungrounded as we move forward. We are ensuring that even in our most watery times, we find that stillness so that we are not losing our perspective. Our perspective is important. Our groundedness is important. Our emotional being is supported when we are slowing down and just taking stock, noticing, feeling the the full experience, right? We don't have to focus entirely on where we are not. We can stop and go, I'm doing a good job. Bitch, you're doing a good job. Bitch, you're doing a good job. Bitch, you're doing a good job. Anyway, that's my reading for this new moon in Cancer, this dark moon in Cancer. As always, please let me know down below, what are you pulling right now? What about that is resonating with you or is not quite resonating with you? Are you excited for this Neptune retrograde, or are you like, fuck, what the hell is going on? All your thoughts down below. Please let me know how you are feeling. If you want to support me, thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube things. But of course, I have my links in my link tree down below where you can join us on Discord, you can join us on Patreon, you can join us on me on Instagram where I post all my intuitive art and magical things like that. I also have a podcast if you want to hear about art and spirituality. But with that said, I love you. Check out these videos popping up around me, wherever they are. And yeah, have a great day. Bye-bye.